Hey everyone, and welcome back to NAMPIRE. Today we're going to be reviewing Bravus Brewing Co.'s Raspberry Gose. It's a near beer with 0.5% alcohol by volume. I really like this beer. It's one of the few sour beers that I'll swear by in the non-alcoholic beer space. It's very much like a raspberry lambic, I'd never actually had a Raspberry Gose while I was drinking normal beer, so that's my point of reference. We'll talk about it when we get to flavor, but I have some comments when it comes to how things go with the Gose. Pretty standard Bravus Brewing logo here. You have the centered thing. In this case, it's fruit. Other times, it's hops. With the cerveza, it's a sugar skull for some reason. Really hope they don't put sugar skulls in their beer. Then we have some. Actually, I'm not sure what these are supposed to be. Maybe coriander. Yeah, maybe that's coriander. I'm actually not sure. Well, it's depicting something that's in the beer, which is great. They have an entire shtick. It's always a great time for Bravus. The folks at Bravus believe beer should be about the experience, not the alcohol content. That's why we're America's first brewery dedicated solely to the production of non-alcoholic craft beer. Our exclusive brewing process allows us to create a beer which tastes so much like an alcoholic beer, you would be hard-pressed to tell the difference. So go ahead, try one. There's not calories on the can, but I can look them up. I think their IPA has about 92 or 96 calories in it. I wouldn't be surprised if this was similar, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, we got water, malted barley, raspberries, coriander, pink Himalayan salt, hops, and yeast. Yeah, let's try it out. Let's give it a crack. Very raspberry, coming out the races, coming out the gates. Along with some other smells, Bravus always has like a certain je ne sais quoi that makes it Bravus. I'm not really sure if I could tell you what it is. Maybe something to do with like their malted barley. But yeah, let's give it a pour. Now this beer looks a lot different than I would expect it to look. It looks like a lager, but it's a Gose. No red coloring. I'm kind of glad that they didn't, put food coloring in it to indicate that it was a Raspberry Gose. It does the job. Yeah, good bubbles, decent head. Semi-transparent. You can't really see all the way through it. It might just be because it's very cold right now. Let's give it our first sip. The one thing that really astounds me about the Bravus Raspberry Gose is that it has such a deep flavor. It's not just something that's like a sweet sort of effervescent, like get on with your day. It's really got a lot going for it. The first thing that really hits you is that there's like the raspberry taste. That flavor. It's tart, it's sour, it's playful, it's everything I want out of a Gose. What I said earlier, we talked about this a little bit. I think I've had, in terms of Goses that I've had, they've all been much more sour than this is. This is not a very sour Gose. As it goes, it's only a tiny bit sour. Nothing that'll make your your face or your lips pucker. But I like the level of sourness in it. I think it complements the raspberry very well. Maybe if it was a different flavor, I could see going harder on the sourness, but as it stands, I really love it. Yeah, after you get that initial sort of tartness, you get some of the malted barley that we were talking about earlier. And then there is this underlying, symphony of flavors is maybe a little bit generous, but the coriander and the saltiness kind of finish it all up and give it a really nice back of the mouth finish. It's like it's just got a good all around flavor. There's no point in my mouth processing what's just been put in it that I'm like, I don't like this. In fact, the entire time I'm like, I love this. Yeah. This is a great beer. I at times will like to drink it with with meals, occasionally it's like I've used it as like weirdly as like a dessert beer previously. It definitely is a little harder than a normal beer to fit into like your repertoire if you're trying to put it or pair it with something. But that's not to say it's impossible. In some ways, actually, I mean, I think the bold choices that are made with it and the way its flavor stands out make it an easier choice. That you might want to pair it with a sharp cheese, or you might want to pair it with like not seafood, but maybe like a pasta or something like that. I really do like it, and I'm sure other people have better explored the realm of possibilities of pairing with the Raspberry Gose. That's about all I have to say about the Bravus Raspberry Gose. I would really recommend you check it out. It's available from Total Wine and More in my area. It's also available online from the Bravus site. They do shipping direct. Yeah, great beer. I really hope you get to try it. Out of Bravus's offering, this is probably tied with the oatmeal stout for me, and the oatmeal stout is very good. So, yeah. Thank you very much, and until next time, happy drinking.